How powerful is knife throwing? I'm going to answer that question in this video. Stick around. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to be getting right down to the point in this video. It's not going to be very long. There's mainly one thing I want to demonstrate to show you how powerful knife throwing is. But apart from that, the question could be answered by saying it depends. Some knives are formidable when thrown, others are not. In Hollywood, they can throw just about anything and everybody's getting killed. And I'll say this, if somebody was to throw a knife combatively and that knife was light and flimsy, it probably wouldn't do a lot of damage unless it hit bare skin. It's probably not going to penetrate deep layers of clothing. The game changes when we start talking about something like this. This is a combat knife from Takuma Tak that I reviewed a while back called the Hammer. It's a double edge. I thought to myself, I really want to throw that, and I wanted to use it for this experiment. I'm going to be throwing this knife through a pair of jeans, but not just one layer, all the layers. As you know, denim is very dense and thick, so I'm just gonna fold this pair of jeans up and send this knife through it. I'm doing this experiment specifically because so many people have come along and said that knife throwing would never work because you wouldn't be able to penetrate the clothing successfully. Well, let's find out. So not only did this penetrate many layers of denim, but I'm gonna pull this out so you can see this. It did a hard stick into that wood. I'll also point out that wood is a very tough surface to penetrate. You know, no matter how strong or sharp the knife is, it's only gonna go in but so far. Look how deep that went, even through all the layers of jeans. Now I want you to ask yourself this, what if the tissue behind those jeans had been soft? I don't think it would have hardly stopped at all. Now let's flip them over and hit it from this side. I've got all the layers folded up here. Again, through all the layers and into the wooden target, and really into it. I've got this thing folded up now to where it's extra thick. Let's go through it. I had to refold the jeans because they wouldn't stay up there the way they were, but I've got all these layers folded up and it still got deep into that target. Went through every single one of these layers, slammed right into that target just like that. Now let's try this with the Cold Steel Kobun. This is a cool knife, but it's a lot lighter. Let's see if it can penetrate the jeans. No. Now the first one didn't go through all the layers at all. It bounced right off. The second throw went through these layers right here, so you can see the difference. The Kobun would obviously go through t-shirt, sweatshirt, probably not some field jacket or somebody wearing a lot of gear. Now as far as this region, all of this, I think every throwing knife is dangerous. But to answer everybody's question, it's clear what certain knives are able to do and unable to do. I've done so many experiments. A good throw with a good knife has a harder initial impact than that of a stab. But nobody's saying that you can't stab through layers of clothing. They just say you can't throw through layers of clothing. I debunked that in this video. And again, it went through all the layers of clothing and made a significant impact on the wooden target. If you don't think wooden targets are hard, take your knife and stab into that wooden target as hard as you can. And then go to maybe your local butcher shop. Get you a pig or something, some carcass or whatever, and stab through it. Tell me which one is easier to stab into. I think you'll discover that it was the latter. I could take this Kobun right here and probably go all the way through a piece of meat. That's as far as I'm getting with that wooden target. So how powerful is knife throwing? Very, if you have the right blade. Don't think you're gonna buy some flimsy little Perfect Point throwing knives off Amazon and become deadly, because they're just light and flimsy and they can barely stick into wooden targets as it is. But if you're throwing something that is sharp and heavy and you are throwing it with good technique, you'd be surprised what it can do. I gave you a little taste of that in this video today. I hope you found this helpful. I hope maybe it answered some questions that you may have had about knife throwing and its power and effectiveness. Take care.